there are these bizarre sex crimes that show up with even greater and greater frequency these days in the US, and they are mainly done by white people. Okay, so we can call it BSDM, which is bondage, sadism, dominance, humiliation, sexual attraction to the sick and dead looking, and even causing death. So then there was the cannibal cop case, and now he served some jail time and his conviction was overturned. Then his pervert buddies had a different set of perversions, and they were actually convicted and they stayed in jail. And then there's a case in Vanderbilt University, and it's kind of a little bit misunderstood. It's not really the black men leading out the crime. It's actually it's a white guy doing it. It's a popular white fantasy for a white man to have, for a white man to get, to incite a gang of black men to rape and humiliate his white girlfriend. So this white guy, he was just on campus for 2 weeks. So he's really not friends with the black men who he got to do this crime. And that's, part of his fantasy, to have it done that way, to have some strange black men do this crime. And these people, when they have these huge collaborations, they work with a group. They have a group that kind of shares the same fantasy. So really, those black men were, although he was there for 2 weeks with them, they were really not part of his group. See, his friends were back in California. They were his white friends back in California. So he actually sent them images back to California, and one of those guys even sent back a message saying, "Don't let her wake up." So we really kind of have to know the specifics of the fantasy crime. And so there's like a different varieties. Now there's like even women doing these crimes, where there's several crimes now showing up where women get men to go and rape their daughters. Not the men's daughters, the women's daughters. Right, so the women, they want to get their own daughters raped and murdered, and they get men to watch it, and then they tell the police that they even received sexual gratification from it. So really, but this kind of crime, which is, BSDM and breaking taboos, is very commonplace within the medical setting. That's because in the medical setting, they get away with everything. So they have all their schemes to, it's all money related. So basically, doctors and nurses, they are essentially all thieves. So, and we can kind of see how it happens in the VA hospital system. In the VA hospital, they let the really sick patients die and don't give them any care, and the money they were supposed to use for taking care of the really sick patients, that goes for the employee bonuses. So that's how they do it. So it's mainly started with money crimes, but then now essentially, I guess, sex and murder and everything is going on. And I think so see, the news says that the sex assault of young women done by male doctors is the new Catholic Church scandals. And of course, when a doctor sexually assaults his patient, it's always a BSDM crime, because it's about breaking taboos, because the doctor has duties to do no harm and to act in the best interest of the patient. But then there's what's even more disturbing is that these doctors will even deliberately cause injuries as part of the fantasy. See, the CDC reports the mystery of an unexplained surge of young women getting strokes. And when you look at the individual stories, these are not about the strokes that old people get, but these are instead massive brain injuries with bursting blood vessels and swelling of the brain. There's no mystery here. These doctors at the CDC, they know that it's their own colleagues who are deliberately causing these brain injuries, because actually Jeffrey Dahmer tried something similar. Now he's not a doctor, so he was unsuccessful, but he did try to produce a type of coma where the victim can respond to violent stimulus, obey a command for a sex act, and then have no memory. I guess Jeffrey Dahmer didn't really care about the no memory part because he kept his victims like in his dungeon there. So, but I guess with these doctors, I guess they like doing this so that the patient is left with no memory, and then the patient is usually able to walk out and things seem normal, but there's a ticking time bomb that soon goes off.